All right, if there's anybody, I don't think there's anyone in the group right now, but I guess I'll give a quick little starter. Hi, my name is Lauren. I'm a illustrator, um, trying my hand at streaming, and I'm going to be trying to fill this into some YouTube videos later on. I'm hoping this records as well. I have a few friends. Hopefully, it will be able to work okay. I'm working on right here. Essentially, let's see. Actually, can I get this to go full screen? What I'm trying to do is I've been trying to play around with a couple different styles and stuff lately. I took a picture of some sketches and nothing great here. This is mostly just me playing around. I want to mimicking. If anyone knows the video game Dishonored, this one here uh, is the one that I tried to make into as close as I can with the mechanical pencil I was working with earlier today. Um, into the style that I was curious about playing around with the most. But Dishonored is very painterly, kind of just like the game Sifu. I also like playing around with anime. I'm more or less trying to make a stylization of me for YouTube videos, Twitch, whatever else. So pretty much right now, this guy here is I was trying to work with a little more DC if I can. I was going to play around the shading, the angling, stuff like that too. What I might end up doing is just adjusting the different sizes here and there. And this is my first time trying to hook all this stuff up. It took me quite a while to do this. I'm probably going to stream for like 30 minutes to an hour just to show that I've done it and then share it with some friends and continue on with this maybe once a week if I can for an hour or two. Um, and use these headphones. The only way I can use audio, literally using a PlayStation 5 camera, my PlayStation headset, and my gaming PC and my iPad mirroring on here. Um, but yeah, anyways, let's see if I can. Now, I don't like the head here because it's just too tall. And what I might end up doing is, actually, what layer am I on right now for drawing this? Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. And I want to adjust the eyes, the nose, and everything too. If I'm going painterly, yeah, if you see like these busts here, it's kind of like what I was trying to reference a little bit. There's so many like painterly brush strokes for different parts of it. This looks more like colored pencil stuff too. But I want to try to mimic that as much as possible. I guess to a degree. This looks a little bit better than the original. Not as squished. Except for this eye, like I said, looking a little too high up. Oh shit. Let's see if we get down a little bit. And then one thing is the point of me doing this Twitch channel and trying to figure out what I want to do with it in the future is that I'm just trying to use it as a creative way to keep me practicing um, illustration um, in a fun, creative way with some kind of like people, viewers, they hold me accountable for certain things. Um, the reason why is because I got like this art course and everything too, and I'm trying to figure out like how to utilize. Actually, I should do shading on a separate layer. Um, like learning different skills digitally because I've done traditional artwork for a long time, painting specifically, and I'm trying to find a style. So the reason why I guess the broad term of what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to make sure I am testing all different horizons and practices and see what I can come up with. I want to try to make my own style, but I want to take inspiration. I'm trying to see where my inspirations are, like people that I like to, like video game developers. I really like their art style, and trying to figure out whether or not I want to um, find a way to develop. I like anime. I watch a lot of anime. Anime style, depending on how it's made. If I can do it in a way that I enjoy it, maybe I could use it as my character design. I'm kind of just making like a character for my channel and Twitch channel. Um, but yeah, let's see. Is anyone else in the chat? Planes are just like, I mean, I guess simplicity's sake. If this was like what my teacher taught me back in the day was pretty much if you did the human face, they always do like a triangle, right? And try to segment it out. This is just an easier, like a simple diagram. This is that one way that I learned how to do it. It's pretty much like if the light was a hit, obviously this would be shaded. That's like a plane of the face. If the nose is here, usually it's like a triangle as well, right? Say this is the nose. Shadow, right? The shadow comes down. Shadow. Plane here probably. Then you start to break it down in different segments and stuff like that. So you start to get like the different planes of the face um, from how the light hits it. Like this plane will be slightly different color than this plane. And then you can kind of break up the skull too, where the skull is different planes of the skull here. There's kind of three parts to each one. I think what I'm having difficulty with, that I'm trying to work on more, is getting familiar with those planes and also is recognizing when I'm drawing and I'm imagining things, it needs to be in like a 3D plane. So I think this anime face is suffering with the same thing I did with this one. Like the eyes are just too low, mouth is too low, nose is too low. my my bald dome is just way too big this whole time. But I think this one could just adjust by me, um, quite literally, uh, just moving everything up. But I was trying a couple different styles. Um, this one on the far right that I'm working on is supposed to be like DC. He says so. Oh, yeah. Hopefully, let me know if you like any of it, if you think I'm doing a good job or not. I feel like so this one here, supposed to be like DC or like Batman style comics, generic anime. If I get rid of the, let's look at that. Generic anime. Looks very comic book. Good. I'm glad. I'm gonna change the style a little bit. The one on the far left over here, the chin's a little odd. I gotta adjust that a little bit, but essentially it's gonna be Dishonored um, style. I'm trying to figure out what to make my character, or like play around with different styles I might like when it comes to my YouTube channel, and like use videos from this to one of my other YouTube channels. I feel like I have to make another stylization of me as just like my art side of things more. Looks pretty Dishonored. Yeah, they're kind of. I figure like Dishonored had a little bit of asymmetry and oddities. Like I feel like they have a lot more angular stuff going on with them. It's mostly like this chin. I feel like it needs to pop out a little bit more. Um, yeah, I for comic book wise, like I feel like they're pretty set to like pretty harsh lighting depending on what it is. Let's see if I go like that. I guess the look or shape of the DC style, and then try to play around this type of painterly style. Um, I think I could do it. It just might take longer because the Dishonored one is so, like, if you see here, it's just so um, detailed. Like I feel like this just takes a lot of work, at least until I get to the point where I'm refining. Like you got a lot of different colors working on here too. So I was thinking like, well, if I'm making thumbnails, I should make them to the point where I'm having fun with them, but also I don't know. I'm like so conflicted because I like detailed stuff too. But like this is like super painterly and fun. Um, like how the lighting's bouncing off the face in weird ways. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's some fun stuff. Yeah, that's the thing is like that's what I mean too. Is like Batman in general is pretty dark and gothic, anyways, right? So like these are just all solid black. Um, it's like it's hard when you're like trying to like for example, for like the character's face, it's like more of like a light shading, but everything else is dark, like the hair, the capes. So you have to like pick and choose what you're doing solid black on. Obviously, this is like artistically made in a certain way that it shows like his legs standing out a little bit more because Batman's cape is almost solid black behind it, arm popping forward and stuff too. So those are some pretty good like design choices. So like, and it's picking like, obviously you see some hatchings here. Trying to figure out where to put like the lines, or where do you show the line work more often in like the hatch makings. So I think that's the thing is if I'm doing this guy over here, I really feel like I rely on a lot of the line work itself. Let's see. So yeah, I got the other thing I was going to work on at some point. Like I said, I haven't finished this guy up fully, but I want to get him, get it all situated where I gotta start coloring in the alien in a certain way. I'm trying a method where it's like you do the shading. It's creepy as hell. Do the shading separately, but I gotta figure out how to make the shading look natural, not just black, because it kind of mutes the whole thing. I'm trying to decide if I want to keep the line work or get rid of the line work. The line work darkens everything up, but we'll see how it goes when I. This is like one style I was kind of playing around with, but it's taking some process for all this stuff. All right, this is the end of the video. If you want to stay up to date, follow me on Twitch or either my YouTube channels at Hero021 or Lauren's Creations. They stay posted. This is going to be going on Lauren's Creations. Like, comment, subscribe, see what you like about this, and see you in the next one. Have a good day.